In this video, we're going to show you how to do the casts for the What We Hold Dear project. These are two examples of the casts made using packing tape. So for this project, you'll need clear packing tape, saran wrap or plastic wrap, clear disposable plastic gloves, and scissors. In this case, we're using just regular scissors, but when you're doing this with students, you want to use safety scissors. You want to use round tip scissors so that when they cut the mold off their hand, that they don't run the risk of cutting themselves or hurting themselves. Now, one of the first decisions you'll want to make with your students is whether they want to do a closed hand cast, that's where they have their fingers together as they wrap their hand, or one that has the digits all separated. That's something that you'll want to decide with them. This might be easier with, say, grade 6s and 7s, and grade 8s working together could easily do the open hand wrap as well. This project you're going to do in two parts. Your students will first cast either the upper hand first and then the bottom part going into their arm, or vice versa. Then you take these two parts together and you attach them. So first we'll start with our hand, and in order to do that you're going to put on the clear plastic glove. This will protect your hand from having the tape stick to it. This is kind of the base, so you put on the glove. You're going to take your packing tape and you're really just going to wrap your hand layer upon layer of this packing tape. And every so often just go along and just put a little bit of pressure to solidify all those layers together. You really want to do at least 5 layers. And you're done when it starts to be really nice and stiff and it's quite cloudy, like you can still tell there's a hand underneath, but you just see a bit of the skin tone still underneath. And that usually ends up being a good 5 layers. Okay, at this point I think I have enough layers. I'm going to open up the cast, and that's just done by just cutting along one side, and then your hand will slip right out. Now again, keep in mind that you don't want to use sharp scissors with your class. Find a good round tip pair of scissors, and you'll be much happier and overall. So I'm just going to slice in there. Just cutting along, snipping as I go. Okay, so now I have my hand out, and you can see that I do have the opening still showing. So what we're going to do is just seal that up with another piece of packing tape just right across the front. Make sure you push the seam nice and close together and bring your tape along there. And wrap it around the inside. And there we go. Okay, so now your upper portion of your cast is ready, and now we can do the upper part of the lower part of the arm. Now I'm going to do the bottom part of the arm that we're going to attach to the top part of the hand that we already cast. So to begin, I'm going to take some clear plastic wrap and wrap that part of my arm. You want to just kind of go a little bit past, a little higher up than the wrist, and just give it a nice pat. And then we're going to wrap this section with packing tape as well. Okay, I've now cast the bottom part and already sliced it, so it'll come right off. And I want to attach this to the hand portion that we've done. Okay, now I'm ready to attach the upper part of the arm with the hand part. So I just put these two close together, and I have some tape cut ahead of time, and we're just going to wrap them. Okay, and then those two pieces are attached that we did the rest of the hand with. So just turn around. And I wanted this hand to have much more presence than just something that would kind of lay on the table. I wanted it to be able to stand up and become like a freestanding sculpture. So in order to do that, I wanted to attach a base to it, and something that's easy to obtain and that would work. Because this cast is so light, it doesn't have a lot of weight, but we just need to keep it from tipping over. So I've used, in this case, just a paper plate, just a small paper plate, and using packing tape, I just attach the hand at the base to the plate, just by wrapping tape around the bottom. Okay, now what we've got is a closed form sculpture, and it's closed form because it's a whole solid piece that you can't really climb inside. You view it from the outside. It's not a sculpture that you walk in and around, or that you could see inside of it. So it's a whole solid piece on its own. Okay, I think now we're ready to add some meaning to this sculpture. Okay, at this point we want to start now thinking about how our sculpture is going to make a statement and what it's going to say. The best way to do that is to have your students start thinking about symbols and their meaning, logos, and how they're instantly recognizable. We automatically know what they mean. I've created one here, and I use this, this is computer generated. I use a computer to create it. Used a recycling symbol and a symbol of the world, so kind of like saying that recycling is really like a global concern. Your students might have all sorts of ideas, all sorts of passions that they can create a symbol about in order to attach to the hand and show what they want to protect. So that's the connection to the hand, where the hand is going to protect the things that they care most. Now, once they've created their symbol, they would use paper, markers, color pencils. They would decide now to whether they're going to just leave the hand as just the cast on its own and attach the logo. Right? So now you've created emphasis by just making your eye go right to the logo, keeping the hand very plain and making the focal point the hand. Your students might decide to take it one step further and actually prime the sculpture. And priming, you would just use a gesso, which is an artist's primer, and you would coat the whole hand. So now it would accept paint, so the students could actually paint their message on there as well. Another option to attach meaning and to create interest for this sculpture and to further your students' message is to start to attach other things to the hand. They can use, I've used here a picture from a newspaper. They could use text that they've cut out from magazines, maybe other materials, whether they start a collection of leaves and other natural things, just to further push their message across and to add some more interest to the sculpture.